What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. After the massive success of Roadhouse starring Conor McGregor, a sequel titled Roadhouse 2 on Wi-Fi is officially in development, and this time it's loaded with even more UFC stars. The upcoming film will feature Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Tyron Woodley, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and Michael Venom Pagey among its cast. Filming is scheduled to take place across the Guac, Malta, and Georgia, though production dates are still under wraps, and it's unclear whether it will impact fight schedules for the active UFC fighters involved. Fans are particularly intrigued by the on-set reunion between Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler, who have had a rocky relationship in the past. Poirier once called Chandler fake, claiming his personal experiences with him didn't match his public persona. However, Chandler recently appeared on Wanted DMA Hour with Ariel Helwani to talk about the project and revealed that things between the two were surprisingly civil during filming. When asked about their interactions, Chandler laughed and said, "It was good. We actually got along. Once you're on foreign soil, it's like an international peace treaty. Whatever happened back home doesn't matter anymore." He explained that while they've had disagreements, there's mutual respect between them. "Even if he hates my guts and I hate his, which isn't really true, we both operate with a level of respect. We weren't there to make it about us. You think I'd disrespect Jake Gyllenhaal, the director, or the entire production by starting something on set? Not a chance." Chandler added that the experience was even better than expected. "It was more than cordial. We talked about our fight, shared a few laughs, and even discussed the moments we disagreed on. With guys like Tyron, Wonderboy, and MVP around, it felt like a locker room, just fighters swapping stories. It was cool, man. Dustin's a stud, and I wish him nothing but the best in retirement. I was happy to see him join the cast." The film is already drawing major buzz, not just for its lineup of UFC talent, but also for the Hollywood names attached. We've got Dave Bautista, Peter Sarsgaard, total pros. It's going to be a really good movie with an incredible mix of fighters and actors. Fans are going to love it, Chandler said confidently. Move on to another news. Jack Della Maddalena recently appeared on Israel Adesanya's YouTube channel, where the two discussed JDM's upcoming welterweight title defense against Islam Makhachev. During the conversation, both Adesanya and Della Maddalena gave credit to Islam for his highly underrated striking skills. Izzy even went as far as to say that Makhachev's striking is cleaner and more polished than Khabib Nurmagomedov's. Adesanya praised Islam's evolution as a complete mixed martial artist, noting how much he has improved since becoming champion. "He's definitely gotten better. 100%, Izzy said. His all-around game has improved, but especially his striking. He's got better, cleaner technique and more weapons than Khabib. He doesn't rush in the same way, and that patience has made his striking sharper." Reflecting on Islam's rise, Adesanya pointed out that the UFC's decision to give Makhachev an immediate welterweight title shot isn't disrespectful to Della Maddalena, but rather a sign of respect for Islam's accomplishments. "I thought at first it might be disrespectful, but it's not," Adesanya explained. "They just respect Islam and want to give him a chance to go for double champ status, just like Alex Volkanovski tried." Della Maddalena agreed with Izzy's assessment, acknowledging Islam's technical growth and discipline. He emphasized that Makhachev is not just a grappler, but a well-rounded MMA fighter who poses multiple threats. "People still look at it as a striker versus grappler matchup, but Islam's much more than that," Della Maddalena said. "He's one of the best overall MMA fighters right now. His striking is underrated, and I think he's going to come into this fight in even better shape at welterweight." Jack also noted their physical similarities, mentioning that Islam might be slightly shorter, but not by much. He expressed confidence in his ability to handle Islam's grappling pressure. "A lot of people think he'll just hold me down," Jack said, "but I've got some tricks to get back up and create space. I respect his skill, but I'm ready for everything he brings." Both men ended the conversation with mutual respect for Makhachev's skill set and his ability to continue evolving at the elite level. Adesanya summarized it best: "Islam has proven he's not just a wrestler, he's a complete fighter now, and that's what makes this matchup so exciting." Move on to another news. Reinier de Ridder recently opened up about his loss to Brendan Allen at UFC Vancouver, reflecting on the mistakes that led to his defeat. He admitted that the fight slipped away from him after a promising start in the first round. By the fourth round, Allen had completely worn him down, forcing his corner to stop the fight. Speaking with Submission Radio, de Ridder confessed, "I messed that up big time in training camp. Looking back, I was pushing myself far too hard throughout the entire camp. I felt slow, drained, and exhausted after every session. Even during my Robert Whittaker camp, I wasn't feeling like myself in the final weeks. But I was stubborn. I kept pushing harder and harder, and that's exactly what showed in the fight." De Ridder also admitted that the weight cut may have been a factor, but emphasized that overtraining was the real issue. "It was very hard to get down this time, but the truth is I just beat my body up this year. Everyone around me kept saying, "Why are you fighting again? Take some time off, rest." And I was the only one who insisted on going forward. It wasn't the one who insisted on going forward. I thought I'd secure it in Vancouver, so I ignored every sign my body gave me. I thought I could secure it in Vancouver, so I ignored. He went on to say that this experience has taught him a valuable lesson about balance and knowing when to rest. Despite the setback, the Ritter remains determined and hinted at a potential move to the light heavyweight division in the future. "I did a DEXA scan to check my lean mass, and I realized I'm heavier than most middleweights. So moving up is definitely something I'll consider, but I've made middleweight 5 times in the last 11 months. And 4 of those times, I performed extremely well after the cut. So I know there's still a future for me in this division, even if it's not where I end my career." He concluded with a tone of humility and focus, acknowledging that while this loss was a tough lesson, it was also an opportunity to rebuild smarter and stronger for what lies ahead. Move on to another news. Jon Jones recently shared his thoughts on Tom Aspinall's performance and expressed interest in a potential fight with Alex Pereira. Speaking on the No Scripts podcast, Jones didn't hold back his criticism of Aspinall, saying he respects his athleticism but questions the depth of his skill set. "I think Tom's a great athlete," Jones said, "but I do feel like he's a one-trick pony. His wrestling and jiu-jitsu are incredibly overrated. I learned a lot about his patterns in his last fight. It was a beautiful win, sure, but that's really about it. He couldn't even touch Cyril Gane. From what I saw, Gane was just getting warmed up. His hands were down, he was loose, bouncing around, and looking confident." Jones' remarks reignited debate among MMA fans about the current heavyweight landscape. While many consider Aspinall the future of the division, Jones clearly believes the Brit has yet to prove himself against truly elite competition. The comments reflect Jones' ongoing confidence in his own abilities, despite his recent time away from the Octagon. Jones then shifted his focus to a dream matchup, not in the heavyweight division, but against UFC middleweight and light heavyweight champion, Alex Pereira. He explained why he specifically wants to face Pereira, even suggesting an iconic venue for the fight. "I'd love to fight Alex Pereira at the White House," Jones said. "He's incredibly respectful, and he's become a household name in America and around the world. He's a champion and part of the conversation about the greatest fighters of all time. That fight would be a blockbuster, the kind of event that brings the whole world together." Jones added that a bout between them would be mutually beneficial for both fighters and for the sport itself. "I've beaten many Brazilians in my career, but this one would be different. No matter how it ends, nobody loses in that fight. It would generate millions for the sport and showcase 2 high-level athletes who truly respect one another." While Jones remains sidelined due to injury recovery, his comments make one thing clear. He still sees himself as the ultimate measuring stick in MMA. Whether a clash with Pereira ever becomes reality or not, the thought of these 2 legends sharing the cage is enough to excite the entire combat sports world. Move on to another news. After Jon Jones' recent comments about Tom Aspinall went viral, the MMA community exploded with mixed reactions, some defending the heavyweight champion, others calling Jones out for hypocrisy. Fans and analysts took to social media and podcasts to share their opinions on Jones' remarks, where he labeled Aspinall a one-trick pony with overrated wrestling and jiu-jitsu. One fan fired back, saying, "Jon Jones went to a split decision with one-legged Thiago Santos, took Anthony Smith and Ospi to 5 rounds, and many believe Dominic Reyes clearly beat him. Heaven forbid, Aspinall fails 1 takedown and gets outlanded in 1 round. That's hardly grounds to call him overrated." Another fan added, "If Tom's so overrated, why did Jones turn down $30 million to fight him? You can't call someone overrated and then avoid the matchup." Others, however, sided with Jones, agreeing with his assessment of Aspinall's skill set. "He's not wrong," one commenter wrote. "What does Tom have other than a 1-2? Cyril Gane was loose, relaxed, and barely touched. Jones just said what many already noted." Another MMA analyst mentioned, after the eye poke incident, Gane still looks sharper. The heavyweight division itself feels overrated. Fighters often gas out, and many reach the top without being fully tested. Still, many believe Jones is strategically avoiding Aspinall because he poses a real threat. People can say whatever they want about ring rust or tactics, one user said, but let's be real, Aspinall is dangerous. If Jones truly believes Tom is a one-trick pony, why not prove it in the cage? Fans want to see it, but he keeps finding reasons not to. Some tried to take a balanced view, noting that both fighters deserve credit. Maybe Jones being honest about what he saw in Tom's performance, a fan commented. But after nearly 2 years of inactivity, the debate continues to divide the MMA world. Supporters of Jones argue he's earned the right to speak his mind as one of the sport's greatest champions, while Aspinall's fans insist he's the future of the heavyweight division and deserves his shot. Whether or not the two ever share the Octagon, the tension between them has created one of the most heated discussions in recent UFC history, and fans are watching closely to see if Jon Jones will finally back his words with action. Move on to another news. Former UFC bantamweight fighter Casey Kenny has been sentenced to 6 months in county jail after pleading guilty to a reduced charge in a domestic violence case. The 34-year-old fighter, whose last appearance in the Octagon came in 2021, was initially facing a list of serious charges, including kidnapping, multiple counts of assault, and disorderly conduct stemming from a July 24 incident involving his ex-girlfriend. Under the plea agreement, Kenny will serve 180 days in jail beginning October 30th. In addition to his jail sentence, he must complete a domestic violence offender treatment program and a substance abuse program, remain on probation for 3 years, maintain no contact with the victim, and pay all associated fines and court fees. Court records also show that Kenny faced a separate charge related to drug paraphernalia, to which he pled guilty as part of the same legal process. For that case, he received 2 years of supervised probation, must perform 100 hours of community service, and complete mandatory substance abuse counseling. Kenny's legal troubles have effectively ended what was once a promising UFC career. His final bout in the UFC was a split-decision loss to Song Yadong in 2021. Prior to that, he suffered another close split-decision defeat to Dominic Cruz, one of the most respected names in the division. Those back-to-back losses marked the end of his tenure with the promotion, as he was released shortly afterward. Once considered a talented prospect with solid grappling and endurance, Kenny's career trajectory declined sharply after his UFC release. He competed in several regional promotions, but struggled to regain momentum or secure another major contract. With this sentence, Kenny joins a growing list of former fighters who have faced serious legal issues outside the cage. The court's decision underscores the ongoing scrutiny around domestic violence and substance abuse within combat sports, with many calling for stricter athlete support systems to prevent similar incidents. As of now, Casey Kenny will serve his time in county jail, while undergoing rehabilitation and counseling programs as required by the court. His future in professional fighting remains uncertain, and it's unclear whether he will attempt a comeback following his release. Move on to another news. Sean Strickland has seemingly leaked details of his next UFC fight, and fans are buzzing with speculation. As his suspension nears its end, it appears the UFC is already preparing his return to the Octagon. Strickland, known for his blunt personality and unpredictability, may have accidentally revealed who he'll be facing next. Recently, former middleweight champion Israel Adesanya has been publicly calling for a rematch with Strickland, hoping to avenge the loss that cost him his title. However, Strickland hasn't shown much interest in granting that fight. He's remained dismissive of Adesanya's callouts, suggesting he's looking for a fresh challenge rather than revisiting old rivalries. Fast forward to today, and Strickland may have dropped a major hint during a casual Instagram exchange. A fan commented, "MVP next?" referring to Michael Venom Page, who has also been rumored for a UFC debut matchup. Strickland quickly replied, "Going to be fluffy." That short response has fueled speculation that his next opponent will be Anthony "Fluffy" Hernandez, one of the most rapidly rising contenders in the middleweight division. If true, this would be a high-stakes and stylistically intriguing matchup. Hernandez is coming off several dominant performances and has been vocal about wanting bigger names to solidify his case for a title shot. A win over a former champion like Strickland would catapult him directly into the title conversation. potentially setting up a future clash with Khamzat Chimaev or Dricus du Plessis for middleweight gold. From the UFC's perspective, this fight makes perfect sense. Strickland's durable, high-pressure boxing style against Hernandez's aggressive grappling and submission threat could deliver an all-action bout. Both fighters are known for their relentless pace, toughness, and willingness to trade blows. Still, it's important to note that nothing has been officially confirmed by the UFC. This could easily be Strickland trolling fans in his usual fashion. However, with his suspension about to end and the UFC eager to fill cards for early 2025, the timing aligns perfectly for his comeback. Would you want to see Sean Strickland versus Anthony "Fluffy" Hernandez headline a future UFC fight night or pay-per-view? Fans are already debating who would come out on top: the technical precision and mental warfare of Strickland, or the explosive pressure and ground dominance of Hernandez.